Today, we, as a community, have gathered round to celebrate the anniversary of our most beloved game, Team Fortress 2. Though we have gone through hardships, loss of our beloved, massive attacks directed towards us, and abandonment by our caretakers, we have also gained things of great magnitude that have forever solidified within the identity of Team Fortress 2. Of course, the last 5 years have been difficult, but we have proven to be worthy of staying within the circle of one of the most marvelous games ever made. If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight! Sun Tzu said that, and I'd say he knows a little more about fighting than you do, pals. We must keep up a fight, even if it seems like nothing but a long stalemate. As long as it takes. 5, 10, even 15 years. We can just keep it going as long as we want. All we have to do is fight. That said, here we are, 10th of October 2022, 15 years after TF2's initial release. Though I have been playing TF2 for not that long of a time, counting it at barely 6 years, the game grew on me quite a bit. I find it to be one of the few games in general that I always keep coming back to with new experiences to come by, either from the game itself or the community always surprising me with new sorts of content. It's almost as if the passion for the game coming from the community was booming non-stop ever since its release. After all, TF2 is the most fun you can have online. Am I right, or am I right? Within 10 days of TF2's 15th anniversary, there's another quite important date to cover, that being 5 years since the release of Jungle Inferno, 20th of October 2017, which is by far the last major update the game has received. This anniversary draws an interesting outline of how long it's really been. 1/3 of the game's lifetime has been devoid of content we have gotten in the past years. 1st of October this year also marks the date of Halloween mode being turned on automatically for the 3rd time in a row, rather than being delivered alongside Scream Fortress. At this point, I'm pretty sure expectations of any major update have completely sizzled out, but perhaps it's for the best. Let me ask you this, how would you describe TF2? Original? Nuanced? Creative with its class and weapon design? A game that takes its basic mechanics to the extreme? Or maybe something along the lines of, holy hell, at this point I don't even know, everything seemed like the blur in the last 5 years. Whatever your description of TF2 may be, it's most possibly correct, in the sense that whatever you mention, whatever you associate with it, TF2 embodies it in some way or another. The game is so incredibly diverse in itself that picking it up, playing for a bit, leaving and then coming back to see it after a while, though you are absolutely sure you've seen everything, something completely wacky, unexpected or engaging will still happen. To be fair, I think all of us who have played TF2 in the past still find it as fun as on day one. Well, okay, not as fun as on day one, since the things that new players do on day one is usually grasping the very basics of the game rather than thriving within it. But there is a point to be made. TF2 stood against the test of time, and so far, seems to have overwhelming success. The player counts are rising, people don't stop creating new stuff for the game, maps, hats, SFM animations, memes, videos, and so on. For lack of a better word, the community is carrying the game on its back by itself. We did not shrug and accepted reality as it is. We kept the fight up and provided proof that we are not to be dealt with. We're here to stay and enjoy the game as it is. As laughable as it may sound, we're in control. We're the last strand keeping the game around, and if it wasn't for the player base of the game, Valve could have pulled the plug any day. But no, we're still around and we're here to stay. I don't think there's much to be said about what TF2 was like back then. At this point, it's really better to let the thought of any major update go. It's all in the past now. The beautiful age of 2007 up to 2017. It is gone. Letting go of that thought may be better than we think. It's best not to dread over the things that we have no control over. And this update is not something that we're able to change the devs' minds about. Everything TF2 offers as of today is probably all we will ever get from Valve. But the story doesn't end there. El Toro 64 Russ, Lazy Purple, El Maxo, Uncle Dane, Soundsmith, Dr. Lalv, Crazy Scout Finn, Yupcup, The Hyped Scoot, Shork, Sino are just a fraction of people who are still making new TF2 content. Why, you may ask? Ask one of them, not me, duh. They all have different reasons to like TF2. See, this goes back to one of the first points I've made. How would you describe TF2? And for these people, a large part of TF2 is using it as a creative outlet. People won't ever stop creating, nor enjoy these creations. And with that said, to me it's almost certain that TF2 as a game, and TF2 as a group of random players sitting at their computers, enjoying the silly and fun moments the game produces, will never truly fade away, even in what seems to be the bleakest moments of its lifespan. But let's be honest, our patrons, our saints, Valve isn't really helping the situation that much. So what? Safe TF2 got us a fixed polygon on Pyro's finger, and bots still remain in casual matches. From my observation, they get VAC banned quite quickly, or kicked from the server entirely. Nothing changed. Okay, well, we got some water snakes. By this point, I don't think anyone in Valve really takes TF2 seriously. Quality control has been dropping to a lower and lower standard year by year, and it doesn't look like we're getting anything near of the same quality as in the past. Hello, midst editing the script, Screen Fortress 14 dropped, and looks like we have hit a new low. So on one of the maps, a payload race, the payload just doesn't work. I mean, the payload. What do we do now? We're supposed to. Textures are missing in the health cabinet, and the horseless, headless horseman is invisible. Okay, well, and yeah, this thing. Wow. This has been said many times before, but any trust we have had in Valve has been long invalidated. We're better off sticking together. Some community servers offer a much better alternative to casual. Uncle Topia, I'm looking at you. Some projects go as far as bringing completely new content to TF2. Oh wait, right, Creators TF has been shut down by Valve. But we got Open Fortress and Team Fortress 2 Classic. Real nice, to be honest. The community has made proper efforts to make satisfying and fun experience to the ones that chose to keep playing the game. And for what it's worth, I think that's what truly carries TF2 nowadays. We have nothing to lose. Other than these people who still do what they can for this game, and for this community, for our entertainment, for our comfort, thank you. You're a part of why I even made this video in the first place. Our community has truly turned this grim situation around and made it so much better in all possible ways. If you look hard enough, even in the most desperate moments of all, there is always a light to be found within the seemingly endless darkness. In a few words, the TF2 community really managed to keep the game up and alive. And hopefully, this is what we will continue to do, as long as possible.